Welcome back to the APA.
There it is.
Did it that time.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Easy.
What's that stand for?
Before we get into silliness, I do kind of want to just do a check-in banter, and just kind of talk about. We don't have to get deep into like what we did last episode because we'll probably get more into it this episode. It's you're still in the simulation, but I want to talk about is like, how do you guys feel about dealing with like heavy social topics in your TTRPGs? Generally we try to play these games to have escapism and that kind of thing. And sometimes, these big villains that we go up against present in ways that maybe hit a little too close to home with our reality. So how do you guys feel about that? Yes, Zach, you got your hand up.
I got my hand
respectfully.
Yeah. Okay. So I think a balance is important because this isn't an escapist hobby, right? This is sort of the point of the game in a lot of ways is to feel empowered in a world where we often feel powerless. However, I think that part of that feeling of empowerment can come from being confronted with heinous things and then beating the fucking brakes off of them with righteous justice. You know what I'm saying? And so in order to get to that, the beating the brakes off the asshole part, you have to be shown why the asshole is the asshole. And sometimes the asshole is the asshole because they do heinous shit like, keep slaves and then also, treat those slaves horribly and, abuse people and all of these kinds of things, right? And so to completely shy away from them, I guess, you might do yourself a disservice in a way if what you're, if part of that power fantasy is to fight back against oppressors,
Yeah, I could not agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of... It goes back a little bit to like when we did Signal of Screams and all the grimdark stuff, like, that was like really heavy and like it pulled a lot of emotional weight out into our story. And obviously we're doing this as a show. So we're like leaning into like the emotional and like dramatic parts of whatever adventure that we're running, and so I agree. All I have to say is I agree with what you're saying, Zach, and I think that having these heavy moments helps deliver a better triumph.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I think though, for anybody out there listening at home that maybe wants to write a campaign or something that, it could be traumatic to a player, I think you need to know your table.
Yeah.
Check in with your table. Obviously find out what they're going to be okay with, what they're not going to be okay with.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to yes and bigotry, know. So
Yeah.
Well, like I'm not going to yes and to some Sivv talking about how they treat their slaves. I'm not going to start rolling on that or whatever. I'm going to call him a piece of shit and his mother a bitch.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Now, this adventure was written before the decision was made at Paizo to excise slavery as a driving plot
component.
point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they didn't like take it out of their world. It exists in their world, but they're just no longer writing adventures and using that as like kind of a focus point. Yeah. And so I only bring that up to say that, if you mentioned writing your own adventure, it's really important that you're checking in with your table because something that seems like it's like, oh, this is something we can righteously stand up against may have bigger impacts for another person if, than it would for us, because it's, obviously different experiences and privilege and all that kind of thing. And so like, I agree with Paizo's decision to tell stories that don't involve slavery because there's a bunch of other stories that you can tell, and slavery is often leaned on or has been in the past as like, this is a really easy way to vilify your antagonist, and it is. I mean,
It is.
I,
Yeah.
you know, at the end of this, I know that all of you are eager to decimate some Sivv. You know,
They gonna get
like,
theirs.
yeah, like I do think it's important to kind of like maybe think more forward as you develop stories. You know, to be honest, I almost skipped that whole
Section.
Encounter.
section. Yeah, that whole simulation. But I do think it was important to this particular story because that's who the Sivv are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like, yeah, you know,
And I think the component there is really important because the whole point of the simulation is indoctrination. Mm-hmm. And so having that social situation where like you're being compounded with all of this, oh, this is what we do, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. You see like the depth of the issue of the Sivv culture. Like it's not just, oh, it's a baddie, go fight it. No, this is a culture deep issue. Horribleness abounds everywhere. So I think it's important, and I'm glad you didn't leave it out because I think it sets the tone for just exactly who the
Sivv are. You need to understand the stakes.
Yeah.
right.
Like there's no diplomacy with these Sivv. Like they will enslave and torture and brutalize you for fun. So there's diplomacy out the window, compromises out the window. You can't come to any kind of accord with them. You know, it is an existential threat.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, speaking of existential, you guys did not get a chance to discuss Zeno's message because, we ended the episode. So I did before we get kind of back into I guess you guys can discuss it in character because, that's where we left it. And so you could discuss it as players and character however you want, but your characters are still in the binary world. And, to that point, you do have a little bit more time here because of Zeno's ability to kind of like hold the simulation for a second. But you will not be able to interact with Zeno. That was like a recorded message that he pushed through in one of his moments of lucidity, right? Because he's kind of all fractured all over the place. But what do you guys think about that?
I think it's fantastic we can be ourselves.
Yes.
And actually like try and fight the simulation.
It is great that we are cognizant that we can actually, like Josh says, we can fight back. But it's also terrifying because we're trapped in here. And Absalom Station is in, what does he say, dire? Everything. It's like, it ain't good. I'm glad Zeno's on the case, but also...
But he's a ship AI too. I mean,
Right.
And he's being stretched beyond his limit, It's just kind of the smallest little glimmer of hope, right? Like a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. But God, the tunnel's so long, and it's full of terrible people. So,
he's definitely giving the group an opportunity here, and basically being able to take advantage of it while we have it is at the forefront.
And I like that we all of our Zach's commentary was pretty spot on. It's all Vhieransch, however you say his name.
Oh, yeah. In case anybody wasn't in the Discord the other day, I posted my theory on who it would be.
Pretty much called it, yeah.
Yeah. It was the flashback.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that I found interesting that you called was specifically that Vhieransch was trying to sap Zeno's power. Like that you said he's trying to just like wholesale pull a Zeno, I think is how you...
No. What I said was he's trying to steal Zeno's whole flow, word for word, bar for bar. Right. As in he's an AI inside the ship.
Got you.
That's what I meant by that, is he's copying, I'm making air quotes,
right?
Zeno's whole vibe. That's what I meant.
Well,
But I
look,
didn't know he was sapping Xeno's power. Fuck that guy again. His mother's a bitch.
Indeed. So before we get back into like kind of the heaviness of the simulation, because you still have more to go, and I would encourage you guys, now that you're aware of it, there should be less fear of it like warping your mind.
Yeah.
You have your mind, and so now it might be better to try to see it fully. You know what I mean? Like, that's just some advice that I would give you, is that you got to go through these simulations anyway, but now you can see it with a cognizant mind, you know, and
Can we telepathically communicate while we're
point?
in
Yes, that
this
was
simulation?
literally question I was about to ask.
something you can certainly try. You know,
Okay.
Fantastic.
But before we get into that, I do want to give a round of inspirations, because last episode was tough, and I just want to give everybody a little happy, because
Thank you.
I just want to do that. So we'll start with John. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Very sweet, Adam. Thank you. There we go, a 2.
2, so it's just going to be a general roll d20 for me.
All right, D20. For a 1.
Oh,
Oh,
got that out of the way.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an Alex G. So we're right back into the weird.
Gimme.
Yeah. Hey, you.
Hey.
I'm glad you drew this inspiration and not the other people. Don't tell the others, but
I
you're
won't.
totally my favorite. In the
you.
STF Network, you're obviously the coolest one. You're like the Batman of the party. You're cool, rich, endangered children, and good looking. Obviously, Adam is your Robin because of his creamy thighs. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Nice ass. XOXOXOXO, Alex.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
nice
fucking
ass.
Well, the
Love you,
secret to the
Alex.
nice ass is just like doing a lot of squats. All
All
right.
squats. Oops, all squats.
Yeah, oops, all squats. Okay.
Well,
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
As usual.
That's on brand, yeah.
You're Jim.
Never change.
Never change.
Yeah.
He's like, good enough if I wanted.
Okay. Heath, let's do you next. Roll a d6.
Okay. 4.
4, so it's going to be a general. Roll a d20 for me.
7.
7. All right, this is from Grumphouse.
Groomhouse.
Group house.
You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you.
Another classic.
Another classic indeed. All right,
Nice
thanks,
ass.
Grumphouse.
My favorite one of
People
those is
like
the
you.
Michael Jordan one, where he makes Michael Jordan look in the mirror and do the whole thing. And Michael Jordan is trying so hard not to crack up because he's Michael fucking Jordan and he doesn't
Right.
need the validation.
Yeah.
All right, let's do Josh next.
All right. That is another 2.
All right, roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
You guys need to start using these
A
inspos.
10.
We need to start rolling dice
You've
that aren't on
rolled-
skill checks.
Well, yeah, but you can roll them on skill checks too. That was
No,
a 10,
I
you
want to
said?
roll them on
Yeah, it was a
attack
10.
rolls, Adam. That's what I want to roll.
All right, this is from Finder. Howdy, strange table fellows. I don't have anything fancy or creative to say here, so good luck. Have a small bonus on a roll when you really need it.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah, I
Finder.
like that. I
Appreciate
like
you,
it. I
man.
like it.
Simple,
Practical,
clean.
No fuss, no
practical,
muss.
efficient. You know,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good job.
All
Finder.
business.
It's direct.
All business. All right, Emily.
Okay. I got a 5.
A 5. All right, that's gonna be a general. Roll a d20 for me.
I got a 2.
A 2. All right, this one's from Porter Paladin.
Hi, Porter.
All right, this has got instructions.
Oh, boy.
Look at your hands. Hold them up. Smack them together hard, but not too hard. You just got a high five from me. Now go do the thing.
I like that.
Sweet.
Great.
I like instructions, thanks.
All right, beautiful. And Zach.
Yeah. I knew I was going to be last. Let's go.
All right.
Top of round 2. Ooh, the 6.
Oh, look at you. All right. It's going to be a D10.
Oh, okay. 10.
Okay, I like it. This is from E-Robs.
Yo, what up, E-Robs?
Hey.
You may not like this situation, but I sure do like. This is a personal, so spot on.
Yeah.
But I sure do like your chances a lot better with this inspiration. Roll high.
Nice. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
That's actually not the E-Robs you're thinking of. It's famed actor Eric Roberts, who's
Right.
I had to assume.
Oh, wow, he's a listener, huh?
That's a good get.
Yeah.
High profile.
I paid for a cameo to get a written inspiration.
He was once the best of the best, but he said now his time has passed and we're the best of the best.
Well, I mean, where's the lie? You
Right.
know?
People who get that joke are going to love it.
All right. So you do have a few moments in character to talk to each other before you go to the next simulation. Same deal, couple sentences before the menu pops up.
Orin tells the group, I'm gonna kill so many of these bastards. I'm gonna unplug that AI from the socket so hard when I get out of this thing.
Well, when you get out, that is fine. But until then, keep a level head. We now have control over our minds. But we're still in the simulation. Let it play out. Let's get out of here as soon as possible. If it thinks we've been indoctrinated, then it will let us out, yes?
Keep an eye out for any kind of technology that may help us get out of the simulation.
Yeah, this whole thing's, at this point, just a puzzle. We can do this. We can beat this fucking thing.
Val, I'm very, very looking forward to seeing who the fuck you actually are.
So let's get out of here first.
He's a gnome, dude. He's a gnome.
He's a gnome.
I thought you were going to say a knoll first. I was like, really? That's a hot take.
That'd be a cool pick.
Yeah.
Hyena man.
The menu comes up, and it gives you the following options. Medical miracles, exemplary education, tormented by the Kishali, or exit.
Exit.
Insufficient conditioning for exit.
Tracks.
You gotta try it every time.
Yeah,
Have
it's worth
to.
a shot.
Since I've
We
got
hit F5.
after Zeno's message, can I try and attempt like a computer's check or anything to try to?
No. Hard no.
I like where your head's at, though.
Yeah, I mean we're in a simulation. I want to.
Man, turn that signal jammer on, man. Let's quit
Yeah,
fucking around, dude.
Go on, do it.
I'm tired of this shit. Let's turn that signal jammer on.
So which one?
Okay, so
I think maybe the one that, to me, makes me think we might learn the most useful information from is the education.
might as well get as much information out of this as we can.
This is going to be appropriately shitty. Let's do it.
I don't think there's
support
really
plan.
a good
It's all.
option.
I don't
It's all
think that
shit.
is.
Have you ever seen
It's
Pink
all the
Floyd's
world's
The
ice cream
Wall?
flavors.
It's going to be like the school sections in there.
And so you select it, everything fades back, and a new scene presents itself.
Okay.
The walls of this large room are made of translucent panes of colored glass on which strange letters, alien equations, and other instructional symbols glide past. An academic instructor with a calm, professional demeanor stands at one end of a conference table, an array of datapads in front of them. Comfortable seats surround the table. The instructor begins in smooth, compelling tones. Your spawnling's scholastic performance has been remarkable, and we've asked you here to discuss how we might propel your spawnling to even greater academic heights. For this conversation, I need your focus and understanding that the now is the truth. And at that, everybody roll a will save.
Oh.
The now is the truth? Interesting.
It's a 25 for old Felly Belly.
32 for Ziva.
37 for Orin.
As a Patra, I do have ask. Is this relating to any charm or compulsion effects or magic?
Just roll the will save.
It is a 22.
Okay, what about Val?
I was like, go on. I rolled a natural 1 for an 18.
Oof. Okay. Well, Orin, Ziva, and Fel, there's something very unusual about that final phrase, the now is the truth. Mm-hmm. It seemed to reverberate in your mind more than any of the instructor's other words. And as such, you feel like that this is like a hypnosis or like brainwashing
Okay.
phrase.
So I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. I can.
So you had this. You basically find yourselves in this situation where you are at a parent-teacher conference about as Vhieransch about your spawnling who's doing well in school, and the instructor wants to talk to you about some different school subjects that your spawnling has high performance in. I will say that at being aware, what you'll be looking for in these conversations is that there might be something hidden, or that the instructor might be hidden. I'll let you decide what kind of skill check you might want to try to uncover that information as we go through. All right?
Did you say Vhieransch?
Yep, Vhieransch. It's the best wing dipping sauce there is.
Hey guys, what's a red mage's favorite salad dressing?
What?
Vhieransch.
Oh, Vhieransch.
All right.
I'll take it.
Sorry,
So
that's the plane passing by.
Sorry.
Went right
yeah,
over my
I
head.
was,
Yep, same.
okay. So, the first thing that I'd like to talk to you about your spawnling is computer programming. Particularly for immersive virtual reality reconditioning. Your spawnling is incredible at this, and he mentions that you have been helping him with this work, this homework.
Yes, my child is perfect in every way.
Your mother is a bitch.
Indeed.
Indeed.
His mother is a bitch.
Most definitely. I live with her, I know.
So yeah,
Just kidding.
so
Just kidding.
so you know,
No, she's a bitch.
She's a bitch.
yes, and so I find that his understanding of the reconditioning is top notch. So at this point, then you can choose a skill based on the subject.
Well,
that
clearly
you-
it's mysticism.
Obviously, yes.
No, it's going to be computers. What about AIDS?
no aids, but everybody can roll their owns.
Gotcha.
Too.
Huh?
I got a +4. Can I hit the DC?
I lean towards athletics on this one.
I mean, you guys can hang it up. That's a nat 20 with a plus 32.
I suggest that everybody roll
Okay.
on these.
All right.
Okay, so because you guys are aware, I'm going to give you the mechanics of what's been going on here, so you
Okay.
guys can just have a better understanding. These will saves and then these like skill checks to uncover things. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them are you're actually rolling to gain a lucidity point.
Oh.
And there is, so in the previous simulations, as soon as somebody got to 3 lucidity points, the simulation would end. And if you get 3, whoever gets 3 throughout the simulation gets those boons that you're getting at the end because you have a better understanding
Gotcha.
of the Sivv culture. So it is that. So Heath, that's why I didn't want you guys to split up last time, because I wanted everybody to have the opportunity to roll for those. And so the same applies here. You know, that you guys now are all trying to like fight and get out of this without like openly fighting. So it's all about you're trying to understand what's going on here, and what every single one of these has also had something that's like obfuscated the actual memory, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Now, I will say that for all of these, bluff, diplomacy, and intimidate are available. So, Heath, for that, you don't have computers, but if you have bluff, diplomacy, or intimidate, you could roll that.
I mean, I'm going to be so bad at them compared to the people that are good at them. With a natural 20, it'll be impossible.
So I did roll a computers check just to see, and that was a natural 1 for a 5. So
Okay. Well, I believe then, Kuiper, what did you roll?
Computers, I didn't roll because he said a +20. I mean, not 20. So.
Right,
I rolled
like,
I'm rolling now. 49.
Okay.
Is there any pluses to that?
No.
Okay. All right.
I also rolled a nat 20 for a 37. So.
what the
Dang,
deuce?
that's like probably the best group roll we've ever had.
What'd you roll, Josh?
A 20 for 53.
52.
52.
Yeah.
Heath, do you want to try a roll on it? Do you have intimidate as a skill or bluff?
No.
Okay. All right. So the professor continues. The next thing that I'd like to discuss about your spawnling is how well your spawnling focuses on rel state.
Elaborate, please.
Well, you of course know what fel state is, Vhieransch. The ability to manipulate the quantum physics of any item, to force them in and out of quantum existence. Your spawnling is a natural.
Well,
That's
of course they
definitely
are.
sleight
They're
of
my
hand.
spawnling.
No, that sounds like physical science, baby.
I don't know.
I think it's mysticism.
I think it's athletics.
It's physical science or mysticism. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's
I'd
magic.
say life science, not physical science.
Oh, life science.
Of the sciences, physical science would be the more appropriate one for this, because quantum physics is a physical science thing, not a life science thing.
Is.
It's not biology, it's
Life science is particularly biology. So
Yeah, but like being like an organic.
I'm telling you,
Okay. You're right.
It's like,
I
it's
hear
not,
you, but
not a
also.
discussion,
it's not
man.
up for debate.
So, I'm sorry, what were the other things that we could do? Bluff or
Charisma stuff.
Diplomacy, intimidate.
Yeah,
can do diplomacy?
sure. Yes.
How would I
physical
do?
science.
I mean, I've got my best roll of those is going to be an intimidate, but I don't know. Do I have to like RP that some way
No,
or like
no.
how?
I got you, dog. Sorry, Professor. Did you say fel state instead of rel state? What kind of educator are you?
I believe I said rel state. I apologize if I misspoke, but
I will take my child out of this school
please
right this moment.
no, he's a star student. That's what I'm here to tell you.
Of course,
right.
he's the most naturally talented child that's ever been born to the Sivv.
Okay.
Because he's mine.
Intimidate
All right.
check going down. Natural 20.
Oh.
For a total of
39.
See how good I did?
You did really well.
Did
Heath.
so
Thank you.
well.
Yeah.
And
Our charisma.
we all roll. I'm just-
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, because we're all
The same
individually
skill?
trying to get 3 points.
Yes.
Essentially,
correct.
3 successes.
Kuiper, what'd you roll?
Physical science, I rolled a 40.
Great. Okay.
I rolled a 45, but I get to add 2 because that's against a Sivv subtype, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so 47.
You guys aren't going to believe this, but I just rolled another 20.
Oh
for
my
a 30
God.
on
Dude.
physical science.
Let's go.
Holy cow.
So this real
We're just
pretty
gonna run through
We're
this,
burning
man.
all these
North
20s
Foundry
on,
die. Yeah.
on garbage rolls. Like,
No, this is
These aren't
important.
garbage rolls. This is
No.
progress, man.
Yeah, we get the hell out of here.
You guys keep rolling hot. I'll do the talking.
I like it.
Yeah, there you go. So at the end of his discussion about real estate focus, he talks about, he notes that sieves can force the state onto objects and creatures, which can be fatal if done bodily, right? Which you would know, John or Kuiper, because you have that disintegrate type thing.
Yeah.
And that the Sivv Dominion uses this tactic as a crucial part of their conquest. At the end of it, he says, and the now is the truth. And it looks like Emily is going to lose 1 lucidity point.
Why?
It's a random roll.
Why?
Why me?
It's a random roll.
That's doo-doo.
You know what? Your mother is not a bitch. All right.
Oh,
And not.
she's such a nice lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a
Fighting words.
sweetheart.
I bet she'd be a great
Tender-hearted.
host
Tooth is a
at parties.
Okay. The next thing I'd like to speak to you about is empathetic conditioning.
Who are you calling pathetic?
Not you, but your spawnling has learned to use external triggers to affect a creature's psychology. I think that he would be fantastic in the forced societal and restructuring, as well as cultural marginalization that we use to keep Sivv society
Wow.
and our servitor races
I have
in
to.
line.
I have to say that is so
What
fucking
the
terrible,
fuck?
and I hate it. But for the sake of the game, I will say, yes, of course. They take after me in that I am also very
A bitch.
bitch, you could say. It's and of course, having good teachers like yourself is very helpful for nurturing
The
this kind
bitchification of our
bitchification
children.
process. And I want to try for diplomacy on that.
Okay. Does anybody else want to try anything here?
I'm thinking it's going to be life science or culture.
It's probably
Yeah.
culture, but
I think life
mysticism,
science-
I
that's
could do either
mystic
of
shit,
those.
dude. Empath stuff is mystic shit all day long.
But
so-
I'm thinking
It's
it's specifically
psychology.
said, the being able to push the buttons of creatures,
That's life
knowing
science
their
all day.
biology, their psychology.
culture,
that's
yeah.
that's life science or culture in my mind.
Yeah, totally.
yeah, you're right.
I think it's athletics.
I'm gonna
you-
roll a culture and just see what Adam says about it.
It might actually be piloting. I'm not sure.
Heath, a broken clock is right twice
Yeah.
a day, man. You know.
I rolled a 2.
Eventually, dude, you're gonna get your chance.
I rolled a 2 and I got a 42. So
My highest is still intimidate, but intimidate's always available. You said for all these checks.
Yes.
Oh my god, natural 2, bro. 21. Don't even worry about it.
11 on the die for a 43.
Well, unfortunately, culture was not the right choice.
Oh,
So it looks like.
hang on. I rolled as well. I had an announce that it's but it's probably a fail anyways. A 17 for life science.
That's also not the right choice.
Okay.
So, Emily, you get another point, but then you automatically lose it when he says now is the truth.
But I was one of the people who was aware of the original The Now Is the Truth.
Oh, I know. It sucks. Man, it's horrible.
What's
All
this?
right, so the next subject that I'd like to talk to you about your spawnling.
Physical education. I have no doubt.
Could we talk about his athleticism?
Let's throw Heath a bone here.
Born athlete.
How is
Yes,
he in PE class?
The ability that and balance that he has on his tentacles, and the way that he can flex his ass neck is top notch.
Takes after the old man.
I can see your ass neck is thick and sturdy for sure.
Yeah, right it is.
A lot of neck squats.
The thickest.
Next squats.
Right. I'm gonna say because I'm adding this in, nobody gets to roll on this except for Heath.
That's fair.
If y'all
Go
couldn't
ahead.
tell, I was clenching my butt cheeks.
Your ass neck.
Yes, listeners, he presented us with his derriere. And
Yeah, I stood up and clenched my butt cheeks. Athletics?
Yeah.
Okie
Yeah, see
dokie.
the athletics, you say?
Oh, was that? What were
I
you
think I should use athletics for this one.
Do I have any bonuses?
No.
No?
No, absolutely not.
I thought we got some bonus stuff for against
Look,
Sivs.
I will spot him. Come on.
That's beyond the scope of this adventure,
You
unfortunately.
could use one of your inspirations, man.
Yeah, you could
Oh,
do
yeah.
that.
True.
I could. I certainly could. That is a 44.
Okay.
Look, you got your first lucidity point of this.
All right, it'll be really cool when you take it away. In Tuesday.
We've got our.
It's the only one I'm going to get.
The now is the truth. And actually, Josh, you lose your third one.
Son of a bitch.
No, well, yes, actually.
Yes, actually.
Yes, that is correct.
The next thing that I would like to talk to you about.
Actually, you know what? Before you keep going, shut up with the now is the truth. I'm tired of hearing that.
He like
We already
blasts, know. He like acts like he does not hear you say that at all. You know, like just
Everybody.
The next thing.
Can I try telepathically communicating with the
Do
others?
you have the ability to telepathically?
I do.
We
We're all-
have a mental link.
Okay, then sure.
Yeah.
And I also have that Sivv telepathy thing. I don't know if this carries over from the first thing in the ice planet with the, destroying an entire race's archive.
Cultural history.
Cultural
Yeah.
history, yeah.
Yeah. As
Telepathically,
one Civ does.
when he says, when we know he's going to say the now is the truth, whenever it's the next time he says those, let's all plug our ears. Just don't hear him.
I
think
hate
it's
to
gonna
break
do
it to you. You don't have ears.
Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah,
say,
we're
like, you know, like
in the
where
computer.
I don't know where
in
ears
the computer?
Then, Terry, when that happens, make it to where we can't hear it.
I'll try my best. I can't guarantee, but I'll make a loud noise.
Plug our ethnics.
Oh, God.
I don't like the way that sounds.
Neither do I.
Who the
It's
fuck are you?
terrible.
Oh, I'm Terry.
Oh, wait, we don't have that.
We
We
do
don't
not
have
have
that
a
with
telepathic
Val.
link with Terry.
It's Terry,
is
baby.
a
Don't,
veil.
Also,
worry
you
about
don't
it.
have the telepathic
Yeah.
thing with Val either. So Val's
Oh,
just
right.
over here in his computer corner. Just being ethnic.
True,
That
dude.
is true. That is true.
Oh, no.
Mike's
all right.
ghost is listening
Well,
to us, bitch. And he's like, shut the fuck up.
He wouldn't hear Terry, but he'd be able to hear Fell.
Mike's had
Yeah.
a gambling hall in heaven.
Would he be able to hear Fell or Terry through Fell? Because Fell's
I
got
think
the
it works
Civ
that way,
telepathy.
actually.
No,
Gambling
Val
does
is
that.
not part
Boneyard.
of
Why
it.
not?
Val. Oh wait, you have Civ
I have the
telepathy.
Civ telepathy, yeah,
Oh,
like a
then
temporary
yes.
ability.
Then you alone could send a message to Val.
I did that.
Okay, great. The next thing I'd like to talk to you about with your spawn is cosmic degeneration theory.
Go on.
Come on, man.
Well, this is something that you're very familiar with, Vhieransch, as you're one of the premier scientists that was involved in the beginning of this project, although I think that you have moved since to different endeavors. Your spawnling has taken to it, and I believe could aid in critical research in the upcoming years to develop the prototype that you were involved in formulating.
That's going to be the simulation we're in right now. No?
No.
We're talking about cosmic degeneration. So this is
The
speaking
stellar
to
degenerator.
the stellar degenerator,
Yeah,
which, if you remember, was the thing that was found by the heroes of Dead Suns, and
Yep.
that it was found in some like pocket universe and destroyed. But it was a Civ super weapon that went missing.
Yeah,
Star
Doomsday
Killer.
weapon.
Gotcha.
So, what check do you guys want to try here?
I feel like it's a physical science.
I feel like it's a physical science as well, man. And I got a +7 to that, so.
What are you thinking, Heath?
Athletics is what I think. Maybe.
I like where he's
Maybe
taking that.
athletics, you know?
I think maybe engineering as well, though, because it's like creating a
Yeah.
machine,
Yeah.
a weapon
Yeah.
to do the thing.
But it has to do with, like, cosmology. So,
Yeah, but it's creating the equipment to do it. building a weapon.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, we're not concerned with the physics of the planet. We're concerned with the physics of the weapon.
You know what? I'm good at either. So,
Which one are you going to roll?
tell you what, Josh, you roll engineering. I'll roll physical science.
All right.
Can we?
That is an 18 on the die for a 50.
50
Engineering.
With engineering. Okay. And what about Kuiper?
44 with physical science.
You chose wrong again, buddy.
Come on. Seven that's backwards.
That's
God
a
damn it.
46 on athletics.
Oh, you chose wrong too, but that's a great roll. Emily?
Oh man, I'm gonna say. Pooper. I mean, I'm just gonna go.
Go culture.
I could.
No, you can't go culture. You should do bluff, diplomacy, or intimidate on all these. Since that's what you're good at. And you know that they work.
I'm just gonna go diplomacy.
Okay.
I'll do intimidate, I guess.
Don't you... Where's your extra die?
So is it not like? Because it's clicked. It's just not rolling in there. Because it's the D8. 1 second.
Your expertise die?
It's rolling.
It is. It says
It's
plus
just
3
not-
expertise.
Yeah, it's just not rolling
not-
the dice. It's just accounting for it. I rolled a 2, so that's only a 39.
24 on the intimidate, not that it matters.
All right. Well, Josh is the only one that succeeded here on this, so that's a third lucidity point. And then he says, "The now is the truth." But what is Terry just like lets out this ear-piercing,
Most annoying sound in the world.
"John Jacob to the Irish." Unfortunately, it goes through to your mind anyway, and Josh, you lose a point down to 2.
Cool.
So as it stands right now, Heath has 1 point, Zach has 1 point, Emily has 2 points, Josh has 2 points, and John has 1. The next thing that I'd like to discuss about your spawning with you is servitor species biology. As you know, we are expected to be particularly fluent in biology, not just of Sivs, but of all the species that we've encountered, so that we can best use them.
Naturally.
Your spawnling is brilliant. Has spreadsheets for days about all the strengths and weaknesses of all of our servitor species and beyond.
Yes, I've been drilling him on punnet squares for years.
Punnet square.
Punnet square.
Punnet squares.
So you take the amoeba.
I still remember punnet squares from Mr. Offer's class, though, dude. That's where I learned it at.
Pond water.
I'll never not laugh at that, dude.
All right, so what now?
Okay, so he specifically says biology, so obviously
Life science.
Life science seems like
I've got to be right once. All right.
intimidate.
Sounds
All right,
pretty
Zach, let's start
athletic to me.
Okay, that's not I mean, well, I guess it's about as good as I could expect. That is a 38.
Okay. Kuiper?
I rolled a 35.
All right. Ziva?
Does it have to be life science?
No, you can roll. How
Whatever
are you
you
not
want.
getting this? Roll this diplomacy every single time. Like, you should just have this ready to go for all
I
of
just
these.
feel like I'm doing it wrong. God! Oh my God! Keep rolling 2s. 44.
Well, that's a success. Josh?
That's a 12 on life science.
Oof. Well, Emily, you get a third point, but
I'll lose
it
it.
gets removed when the now is the truth. All right. Here we go. The final thing that I'd like to discuss with you about your spawnling. Oh, yeah, he goes on to reveal about the biology is that the spawnling and the other children recently participated in a forced vivisection of a bantrid.
Of course they did.
Yes, and so the final thing that I would like to discuss with you is...
Getting him a contract to a D1 school for football scholarship.
Is individuality obliteration practicum?
Of course.
As you know, we have succeeded because of a unity that forms the basis of our civilization, by refusing to allow individuality to flourish, which is dangerous in ourselves and festers into anarchy in others. Our philosophical beliefs of unity and being one is our strength.
Ah, yes, the Tao of the slave master.
Right.
It's culture.
It's awful, is what it is.
Let me mention something about the culture skill. Is that culture is typically what you know about other cultures. It's not reflective of what you know about your own culture.
But we're aware that we're not Sivv now,
Yeah, this
so it
isn't
is
our
another
culture.
culture.
Okay.
Beat that,
Still
Adam.
not the one.
Reverse card. Here you go.
I think it's perception, man. Sometimes you gotta look inside yourself to see the individual that you shouldn't be, you know? There we
Fuck it,
go.
I'll roll
That's fucking
perception.
deep.
No.
I'll roll perception. I mean, you know, like, it can't hurt. Like,
I mean, I'm
fuck it.
I'm
46. Perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Emily?
on everybody else.
I mean, diplomacy.
Yeah, right. You got it. I'm so proud of you.
55.
Nice.
55.
The only thing that makes sense to me doesn't work. Perception. That is a 44 on perception.
37 on perception.
Well, perception was not the one.
Oh, y'all know. I was doing a bit.
But Emily, you do get 3, and you are able, as a group, to pull out before the now is the truth is said. So you get to
Okay.
retain your 3.
Whee!
You don't lose it. But Emily is, or Ziva is the only one that got 3 on this and kept them. So you get a boon here, as so the simulation ends and it goes back into the binary, and you now, this is a pretty good ability. I think it's particularly good for you as an envoy too. So
Okay.
it's good that you got it. You can spend 1 resolve point as a full action to grant an ally within 30 feet the ability to take 2 standard actions on their next turn.
Whoa.
Wow.
Dang.
So as a reaction,
Okay.
spend a resolve point. Is there a
Wow.
like distance, or they have to be within?
Within
30
30
feet.
feet.
Well, I'm sorry, I was typing.
So
That's great.
So
That's a
what
good
was
one.
what was
I
the
want
correct
that, Adam.
roll, man?
mysticism.
Son of a bitch! That's not mysticism, dude.
Well, mysticism is also like religion and like doctrine and like.
That's culture.
I'm just telling you what the book says, my friend.
I know what the book says. The book is wrong.
Okay. Noted. So you guys are back in the root menu, and you know, basically you just saw Vhieransch's one-on-one about his son. What do you think? I mean, you know, you learned some things here, right? You basically learned that the computer programming has been this virtual reality thing has been in development from the Sivv for a long time.
Right.
Learned a little bit more about Rail State. You learned about the cosmic degenerator, and I think that's the biggest thing takeaways.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think there's as much as this is helping with the world building and you know, helping us get a better understanding of Sivv society. Mm-hmm. It's not really doing anything to help us as characters in the moment.
Right.
There's nothing we gained actually.
In the
Doesn't
moment, for sure, but I think that later on, having all of this knowledge and background information is going to be like
Crucial.
crucial in shutting this down, you know.
Right.
We also learned that Vhieransch Dressing's kid is like brilliant. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's. I don't know the relevance, but I feel like it will be relevant since the whole thing
it's
was
like
about
Chekhov-
how talented he was at everything.
Chekhov's child.
Chekhov's child, exactly. Yeah. That's what this is.
Yeah, so like it's a weird thing, these simulations.
You're right.
They're
And then
all
you-
very focused on Vhieransch, right? So like,
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
they're
what
his
do you
memories. They have to be.
they're
Right.
his memories for sure.
right? And I think what Zeno told you, you could basically piece together that the AI made
Sure.
these things and used their Vhieransch's memories to do it.
Yeah, it's just a framework.
But the reason why things have been a little off is because it's been a long time and he's
Degenerated.
Right.
Well,
Well, it was only
years or whatever.
80-something% that was
Exactly.
successfully
Exactly.
uploaded,
Yeah.
right?
and he
So we
Only
don't know if these are
uploaded so
actually like
much.
real deal events,
right. Yeah, so you can, I think, for certain after this, piece together that you are living through key moments in Vhieransch's life, and he's using those moments as scenarios to indoctrinate folks. And you can probably guess that the dragon that you fought went through this whole process.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
Like, the more you're becoming aware of what these simulations are and what they do, and like you guys came close to having your minds wiped, that given all the propaganda that the dragon was spouting off, and that this dragon having no reason to even know what the Sivv are, that kind of reconciles those things.
Yeah. No, I'm tracking.
But it might give you a little bit more insight, or maybe not insight, but like some camaraderie with Val, because Val is a prisoner here too. You know what I mean? So I think that becomes a little bit more clear too, that Val must be a recent prisoner.
Because it's going through around the same time we are.
Right. Right. And I think that that's a little bit of information that you can start gathering there, right? You do have a few moments to speak to each other before the menu comes up. I'll offer that to you now if there's anything that you want to say to each other. Terry, for his part, will be like, "Hey, I'm sorry that my little jingle didn't work. I tried."
That's the best you could do. Try.
Right. So what's it like being a Sivv, Fel?
I don't like it. I don't like
You
it
don't
at
like
all.
it?
No.
Too
Can we
many.
hear
But you got
Terry?
but you got like extra. You got like extra limbs.
Too many.
No, too many limbs.
Too many for me.
So
I'm not
that's
used
a
to
question.
it, and
I don't know. I think that you would, because the AI is talking into Fel's mind,
Yeah.
and
We
it's part of
can
his.
hear-
his
yeah.
It's like a direct connection to Fel as an AI, but
Mm-hmm.
it's. I don't know. I'm not certain on that.
I thought that was Terry.
That's what I'm saying. I asked if we could hear Terry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No.
Fel
No, we
can,
can't hear
and
Terry.
everybody else can't.
We can't. Terry's in Phil's head.
Well, I know,
Unless
but
I were
you
to
have
like
access
relay it
to your-
telepathically.
But
like
yeah.
which you can do.
Yeah. But he's not going to do that for that question.
Right.
That makes sense.
All right.
Okay, yeah. All right.
All right. Well, this is really weird.
Yeah.
It's like kind of weirder than the stuff that we went through when I was 2.0. You remember that? To those times?
Yeah,
Crazy, that was dark. That was gloomy.
that was a time.
Remember when I just like would pop up and stare at you while you were sleeping?
Yeah. I'm glad you don't do that anymore.
Remember that time?
that you
Yep.
know of.
Yep.
Okay.
That one time, right?
Yeah. Yes. No, it was lots.
So,
But, you
anyways,
see-
Val, where are you from? Like, we can't hear this. We're just like, Val's just sitting there nodding to himself.
I feel like that happens like very quickly.
Yeah.
When it's just
Yeah.
Terry and Fel back and forth,
Yeah.
like a second or two.
yeah.
Do you ask that question?
I mean,
course.
yeah, honestly, if we've got the
Do hail
time.
from Absalom.
You got a little bit of time, you know.
I feel like time is something we don't have very much of.
No, you don't have much.
There's no other pertinent information, you know.
Well, there's other simulations we need to get through.
But Val can. You
But
can.
for a second
hey,
or
where are you
two.
from, Adam?
I'm from New Orleans and
All right.
Hattiesburg.
You see how easy that was? That doesn't take a lot of time. It's very easy.
God damn.
You know what? How long have you been here? I know you can't probably tell.
Not long. I don't know. Time is strange in simulation land. Not long. Look, we can. I'm here to help you guys. I want out of here as much as you do, but we need to get through these simulations so that we can try to figure out a way to escape.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the prompt right now, though, so we gotta.
The prompt comes up.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Exit.
Yeah. Exit. Insufficient conditioning. You do get the options of a socially appropriate party, medical miracles, tormented by the Kishali, and exit. So obviously we're going to go to tormented by the
Kishali. Yeah.
Can I roll a computer's check to try and?
No, hard no.
Hard no.
I'm gonna keep trying it.
Can't stop us all, Chuck.
Yeah.
One of these days.
I roll a computer's check.
Okay, so it goes away and reforms in like you find yourself in like what looks like a fort. You see 4 Kishali soldiers, tools of the most resourceful enemy the Sivv Dominion has ever faced. They bear expressions of mingled scorn and amusement. One double checks the manacles that bind each of you to a wall in this wooden fort. Another soldier nudges a plastic crate, barely visible behind several dangling vines. Your equipment is valuable. We should thank you. We'll make certain it supports the Kishali war effort after your executions. With a laugh, the soldiers leave through the rooms, on the exit, and we'll see you.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
shit. All right.
All right.
Some bull kish.